All right, one last video for the day, and happy birthday to Granton Delgado, who asked the question, what if Homelander, Omni-Man, Invincible, and Adam Eve were all Z fighters? So this will probably be a long one-shot. I was tempted to actually tell you that it was going to be a multi-part, because my initial thought was like, well, these guys are strong enough to be threats that could actually change the very fabric of the early Dragon Ball universe. But I think there's enough going on here where we can overall keep it to a one shot. So first off, how are they here? What's going on here? Well, we'll have to for this to work for whatever degree. We're gonna have to say that whatever Hancock is, because we actually to this day don't actually know what he's not human. We know that. But we don't know if he's an alien, if he is a god, if he is a mutation, whatever him and Charizard and the others are. We don't know what they are. Let's just assume he's an alien and that his race is gone. We also have to make the assumption that Mark and Omni-Man are the only Viltrumites in the story, because that's what it is. And that maybe Viltrum is also gone, maybe blown up by Frieza, who would be significantly strong enough to do that. And honestly, just Frieza from Z alone, once he's gone full power, would probably lay waste to Omni-Man, because we know how strong Bardock was in the death battle. Spoilers, he fared fairly well. He just didn't have the firepower, according to their stats, to take down Bardock. But that's a guy with a power level of 500,000 versus a guy power level with 120 million. So do the math on that. Still, Omni-Man has maybe made his home on Earth. Him and Mark are doing their thing, and Omni-Man basically is kind of acting like a new protector of the Earth, is what he's doing. He has even found Kami, and at first probably demanded and is like, I want you to give me the Dragon Balls now, and I won't have to break you. If you break me, the Dragon Balls won't work. What? If I am the creator? If the creator of the Dragon Balls die, then they will cease to function. Then I'll break him. How long have your people been dead? 15 years. Or, several years at this point. Then there's nothing we can do. Shenron, the eternal dragon who grants the wish, has a limitation built into him. He can only revive individuals who've been passed away for no more than a year. So unfortunately, I can't. Even if I did allow you to use the Dragon Balls, you would not be able to get the wish you want. Damn it all! If I may ask, why is it so important? My race was destroyed by Frieza, by an evil tyrant named Frieza. I will get my revenge on him. This I swear, even if I have to do it on my own. And now, again, does Omni-Man know? Does Omni-Man know about the Dragon Balls? Who the fuck knows why? But he's maybe seen them used once. Hell, even Roshi, who can blow up a moon, can hit Omni-Man with enough power to at least hurt him. But then there's Hancock. And Adam Eve maybe is just a human who's got abilities, so there you go. Then there's Hancock, who's probably just doing his drunkard thing, tried to be a hero, maybe failed, and so he's just kind of doing his own thing. And I don't think they get involved with anything, really. Yeah, Omni-Man protects the Earth if he has to, but very rarely are there any threats for him that he needs to fight. I think at some point, though, him and Hancock do kind of come across each other. And he's like, what do you want? Like, I'm going to ask you one time to get out of here. He's like, yeah, what else? What, if I refuse, what are you going to do about it? And just punches him. Doesn't punch him. It was just like he thought he was going to. He's like, huh? He's durable. And Hancock's like, whoa! Now the question immediately comes up, who's stronger between Hancock and Omni-Man? And the problem is we don't have a good showing for Hancock to answer that question. We only got the movie. There might be like a comic they did. I don't know for certain, but we just don't know what his upper limit truly is. We know he's powerful. He can manhandle and just toss a humpback whale like it's nothing, which is why I scaled him above Homelander. And I think that's kind of where I see him, between Homelander and Omni-Man. He's definitely stronger than a Homelander, I think. Just not to the level of, say, an Omni-Man. But he can survive in space without being hurt by the radiation. So take that for what it is. But they started kind of like having a duking it out a little bit, and that's when Kami ultimately kind of shows up. That is enough, Kami. What do you want? You're causing havoc on this world. Your adolescent grudge match. Hey, who started it? and I'm ending it. You will both stop it while you stop this now. And say, fine, whatever. And then he goes to Mark, and Mark meets Adam and Eve, and they're getting along just fine. Omni-Man would not get involved with the plot with the Z Warriors until King Piccolo shows up. And the reason for that is very simple. That he doesn't even know, he can't sense energy, so it's not until people start dying, he's like, what's going on out there? So it's like, Dad, there's something wrong, and Adam and Eve just sense like there's an energy out there, something dark, foreboding. And he goes, and ultimately he kind of winds up where seeing the fight between Goku and King Piccolo. And Goku ends up getting his ass kicked, but Omni-Man's watching, is like, interesting. The kid's got a bit of spunk to him. I'll give him that. But still, I'll take it. And they just kind of disappear. I'll take it from here. And just bitch snacks King Piccolo around. And so he's about to kill King Piccolo. He's got like, oh, what are you? It's like, I'm your end. To which Mark's like, Dad, no! It's like, stay out of this, Mark. I'm doing this for your own good, for the planet's own good. If he's allowed to live, that's the thing. He's King Piccolo. But we spoke with Kami. He's Kami's other half. I'm sorry. What's that now? You kill me. If you kill me, you destroy the Dragon Balls. I am Kami's other half, his stronger half. And he just takes him out to Kami. Kami, is this true? Were you about to allow me to kill this guy? Just so the Dragon Balls no longer work? I was willing to let you kill him to eliminate a threat, if need be. And yes, if that meant my own life, so be it. But that doesn't seem to have been the case or needed. And King Piccolo basically just kind of growling. And they basically reseal King Piccolo, which means, Junior never comes about. Goku, I don't think, so they go about their separate ways again, but Omni-Man does point out there was a kid down there, kind of interesting. I think he might, if I recall the tale, I think he's a Saiyan. I'd like you to train him, if you would, Kami. Why would I do that? Because we need stronger fighters. Me, Mark, and Adam can't take care of everything. Me, Mark, and Eve can't take care of everything. And so they ultimately find Goku, help train him up. He enters the World Martial Arts Tournament, except Mark is the one in there, and Omni-Man is kind of just watching from the side. Now, if we're looking at early series or Mark maybe where he is right now, the question really just becomes, who's stronger at that point, Goku or Mark? That is a very good question. Could Mark, for example, blow up a moon if he wanted to at this point in the series? I don't think he could. He just doesn't seem to have that level of strength to him right now. Later down the road in the comics, he certainly got stronger and definitely got to that level of strength. But as it stands, no. Him and Goku are actually probably evenly matched. Goku's speed, though, I think is more than even Omni-Man was anticipating. We know he can move fast enough to literally create an after image. And dodge lightning, all that. Omni-Man is fast, no doubt about it. But Goku, surprisingly, is able to really keep up with that, keep up with Mark at any rate. And so they're describing, man, you're really strong. Thanks, so are you. But now give me all you got, Goku. It's like, you want everything. It's like, you want my best? Fine. And then, to use a death battle, image, it's kind of like Goku versus Superman, the final one, where, Goku's just there, Kami. Blasts up and towards Mark. Mark's just like, just grabs it. Now, is Goku stronger than Roshi, base form wise? Absolutely. But what about Buff Roshi? Buff Roshi is actually deceptively powerful. It's tough to say whether or not even his full power is stronger than Buff Roshi, to be frank. But he's certainly in the same range. He's strong enough, I think, to blow up the moon if he had to. Which means he's probably strong enough to actually knock the hell out of Mark. Mark just, boom, goes flying down, lands outside the ring. The winner is Goku! Yeah! Goku, my name is Nolan. It's like, hi. I look forward I'm the one who suggested you train with Kami. Wait, you're the one? Oh, well, thanks for that. It really helped out. Yes, but there's still a lot you need to do before you can get to our level. I'm looking I'm looking for warriors to help us in our to help us. There'll be a day when I might need to call upon you. Can I expect you to answer? He's like, hey, no worries whatsoever. I'm always down for a fight. Besides, your son's pretty cool. He's a good man indeed. And so, shake hands. And so the time skip happens. And I think Mark and even Nolan kind of show up every once in a while to train with Goku, which would put Goku at a stronger level of power, maybe 500 or 600. There is no King Piccolo here, or Piccolo Jr., so Piccolo does not show up. So when Raditz comes to Earth, then everyone's kind of there meeting at Kame's house. He's commenting on, how strong Goku's gotten, and Nolan's commenting on it too. I imagine they even taught Nolan how to sense energy. Same with Mark. Adam, he can also sense it. So when Raditz shows up, I finally found you, Kakarot. A Kakarot? That's a Saiyan name. It's like, yeah, wait, who are you? It's like, you don't recognize me? What, did you hit your head as a baby? Actually, yeah, kind of. I'm your brother, Raditz. And so he explains who he is. And Goku, sadly, is just not strong enough to do anything against Raditz yet. I mean, you could probably put up an okay fight, but really it's Mark and his dad and Adam even really step in. Omni and Spicer is like, you will not harm a hair on that child. It's like, you. And he just can't move his arms. What are you? He's trying to pick up Nolan's power level, but the problem would be that even though Nolan probably has ki, like all living things have ki, he's never really trained for his to use a power level at all. Or trained to use like ki, aura, all that. He's never trained for it. That being said, in theory, he could train for it in this scenario. Maybe he does ultimately learn how to do it later on. Maybe even training for the Saiyans, he maybe learns how to do it. But he just kind of bops him, almost like bunts him across the sea. Rushes him flying, grab him by the face. Goku, flies off to meet with him. Same with Mark. Like, what are you? I'm Nolan, the last true Viltrumite in this universe. A Viltrumite? I thought Frieza wiped that species out. They're almost as powerful as Saiyans. Almost as powerful? Oh no, I think you've got it much wrong. I'm way stronger than your monkey butt. It's like, you? That's enough. Why? What's going on here? Frieza, he wants this planet, Kakarot, and he will have it. Frieza, you're working for that madman? You tell give me your one reason why she'll let you live. Because he's my brother, right? Right? Yes, I'm Kakarot's brother. Please, don't let me die. Fine, but you're gonna do something for me. You're going to send a message to Frieza. Tell him I'm coming for him. And says, fine, very well, I'll go. And he goes, and obviously Vegeta and Raditz also heard this. Like, interesting, a Viltrumite on that planet. Interesting indeed. For him to be able to smack Raditz around like that isn't too impressive, but the fact is, he sounds quite powerful. We'll have to go pay him a visit, but if he's not scared of Frieza, why not? If he's as powerful as we think he is, then perhaps we should let Lord Frieza know ourselves. And so, after Raditz shows up, tells him everything, we already know Raditz. That's why we're going to tell Lord Frieza what had happened. Are you certain? Yes. The Viltrumites were a rival warrior race, powerful, even enough to give us Saiyans problems. If he really is the last one, he may be the strongest there is, which in this version he would be. So, if he wants Frieza so badly, we'll let Frieza know. One of them will kill the other. Either way, it's a win-win for us. I guess that makes sense. But what of my brother? What about him? Fine. If we can save your brother, we will. Lord Frieza, and he explains about the Viltrumite. A Viltrumite? I thought I destroyed Viltrumite. It seems you did, but one got away, my lord. And where did you say he was? On a planet called Earth, my sire. It's like, Earth. Well then, why don't we go and say hello? And so, obviously, Mark and maybe even Eve kind of like get us and say, we're not ready to fight Frieza. And I've had it with hiding. And if he wants to come, let him. I will take revenge for my home world. For our home, no matter what, Mark. This is my world, Dad. I was born here on Earth. I don't know anything of Viltrum. You get that from your mother. Fine. You be that way. I'll handle this. I'll handle it myself. And so goes like, no, we're doing this together. That was the plan. It's like, fine. And so they train, and kind of says, try the hyperbolic time jump. You can get a year's worth of training in a day. It's like, you're sure about this? Absolutely. And this is where Nolan ultimately learns how to use ki. Goku spends an extra day in there. And this, because he's also training with Nolan, this jacks his power up immensely. So he is probably, I mean, I would actually not, I'd be hard pressed to not say he's close to Vegeta's power level. But anyway, it's when Frieza shows up that Noah's like, all right, I'm ready. We're ready for him. It's like, Frieza. It's like, so you're the Viltrumite. And what about you? And you're the Saiyan, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like, yeah. It's like, oh, Vegeta, would you like to spend some time with an old colleague of yours? I don't even know him, my lord. Oh, well, then would you like to kill him for me? With pleasure, my liege. But what about? And just shut up, Raditz. I'm going to enjoy this. And so, Omni-Man squares up with Frieza. It's like, I can see you even have a little bit of a power level there, but I'm not a fool. Yes, that power level means nothing. You Viltrumites were never known for your usage of ki and energy blast. No, your pure raw audacity, strength, and adaptability. That's what made you so dangerous. That's why I had to blow up your home. I was like, you'll pay for that. Certainly, but if you be so kind, allow me to slip into something a bit more comfortable. Yeah, powers up. No, that's a bit better. So then, why don't we begin, Viltrumite? And they kind of clash, except keep in mind, this Frieza is much stronger than Bardock is, in that comparison. So, Frieza is they're about even, but Frieza's holding a slight edge. Nolan's still got the physical power, but his the ki and offensive capabilities of Frieza are enough to kind of put him into a tight spot. He transforms again, turning into the third form. Now Nolan's on the back foot, goes into his final form. Now then, this is much better. So then, Nolan, was it? Let's play. And just starts firing at his butt. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are about equal, but Vegeta decides to turn into the Great Ape. Unlike you, I can control myself in my ape form. And then and starts, pounding on Goku. All seems lost. Mark and Adam Eve are trying to get into the fight, but Nappa's giving Adam Eve trouble because she's not a fighter. The Frieza Force is also doing a lot of damage, so Mark is trying to get in there. And then as a sonic boom happens, they hear, and all of a sudden a crash, something crashes into Frieza's ship. It's like, what the hell? Oh, sorry, man. My Will Smith is terrible. Get out of the way. Throws guys. Wilhelm scream. And just, all right, and there's Hancock saying, yeah, I'm here. Kami got me, all that. Just shut up and let's do this. And so now he's taking care of a lot of the smaller fry. Adam Eve eventually just goes to try to help Nolan. But as we know, even though she can control her atoms, which is nuts, which is why she's actually kind of immortal, it's only so strong and effective against someone like that level of power. In the end, it comes down to Nolan pretty much just kind of bum rushing Frieza, but Frieza's just blasting him. Frieza gets chopped in half. Mark basically takes Frieza's head and punches him in the head, killing him. Nolan, though, has been shot pretty much through the brain. It was basically one of those bum rushes. My dead body keeps moving. Vegeta ultimately is defeated, and then they have to go off and F off. They use the Dragon Balls, though, to revive Nolan, and life seems pretty okay after that. Frieza's dead, his forces are in disarray, Vegeta goes into exile. You'd think everything would be great, right? Wonderful. Well, the problem is here, you now would spend a lot of time
dealing with the androids after that. I mean, there's a good gap period, but then the androids come, and at that point they're effed because Vegeta doesn't really come back in any way that matters. This timeline version wouldn't have a Trunks, so no one to warm up the androids. Goku isn't a Super Saiyan. In fact, he's hardly the strongest guy on the planet. That would still be Nolan. And Nolan, frankly, is once we get past Namek, Nolan probably gets his ass kicked by any villain that comes after here. Particularly the androids, which would have Nolan, Adam Eve, and Mark, and Hancock in their database. So they're also designed to handle these guys as well. In short, they would ultimately lose to the androids. The androids take over the Earth. Cell ultimately would take over the androids, blow up the Earth, go on a killing spree until Boo is somehow awoken. He would then eliminate Cell. They would go on a destruction spree until Beerus decides to wake back up and destroy Boo. And then all the universes get wiped out by the Omni King. The reason, at first, I thought this could be a multi-part. I really did. But the problem is just for early Dragon Ball, anything before Frieza, Nolan is way too busted. Things that should happen wouldn't happen because he'd be around. He would literally stop Piccolo probably from being brought into existence. He could easily kill any of the Saiyans. And he's strong enough to at least beat first form Frieza, but any form beyond that, he's going to struggle harder and harder with until he's no longer a match for him. And even if they beat Frieza, with him there, Goku is kind of stuck. He doesn't train with King Kai. He might train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber at least once, but he doesn't train with King Kai. He wouldn't have a reason to gain Super Saiyan. And even if he does, it wouldn't be a Super Saiyan that's stronger than Nolan. Which means, and they're all still on Earth, which means the androids are constantly being updated with all their progression. Adam Eve is the only one with an ability that could do something here against the androids, but they probably would have prepped for that, like atomizing, theoretically breaking these mechanical beings down. And so, yeah, if these guys were here, it'd be interesting, but it wouldn't be good for the story, because they're strong enough to make a difference in the early game, and not strong enough to do anything in the late game. Except for maybe like the Tournament of Power. But even then, you'd have to get there, and I don't think you would. So that's What If Hancock, Omni-Man, Mark, and Adam Eve became Z Fighters. Happy birthday. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.